It's very important. All right. So we're talking about the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript, and the usefulness in the web development. So coming from the case study of English sentence, the HTML stands for like a noun, the CSS like an adjective, and the JavaScript for like the verbs, because that is action. And the CSS is, all the beautiful things like the wow thing. Like, for example, color, positioning, measurement, these are the CSS. So in the HTML, we looked at it as well, like just a skeleton, like I was explaining, a mammalian skeleton, or it must not be a mammal, like any form of skeleton, right? And the CSS, you're going to look at it as a flesh. Why the JavaScript? Of course, a beautiful human being without breathing, without, movement and all of that, of course, looks like a cadaver. Immersion, they call it. So that functionality is key. Imagine you looking at a house, saying that, wow, what a beautiful house. And getting in there, the house is not functional. Not functional, I mean, it's, who is this Fave? Ushana, whatever. Since you cannot mute, I've muted you. Don't distract me, please. So, who is this person again? Just mute, because if you don't mute, I'll definitely mute you. So, like I was saying, no matter how beautiful a house is, if it is not functional, you find it very difficult, right, to live in. For example, no light, no water, no water system, like water not rushing in there, no lights. No matter how beautiful it is, you will say that as beautiful as this house is not functional. So also a website is. When JavaScript is not involved, or maybe like any other engine like Python, like any other programming language, or even the database and all, if there is no interactivity, such website, we call them static website, right? And the one that has interactivity going on, like you going on Facebook and messaging people messaging you back, liking or commenting, all of that one, we call them web app. They are web app. But the one that is just a blog, they are just informational one that you scroll down and all. And the highest level that could happen, the highest thing that could happen there is just you filling a form and sending it. That one is just static web, we call them, static website. Please mute your mic. Simple English, mute it. I will mute you and you will mute yourself, please. Don't do that. You are distracting me. Okay, moving on. That is a lot that we've talked about HTML already. Let's practicalize it. You all know what a car is, right? Who is this person? Adrian Hartoguche, mute. Thank you. So, you know what a car is. In a car, we have engine. We have stereo. In the engine, you have transmission. I'm not saying that this is the only thing you have in a car. I'm trying to categorize them, right? You have transmission and you have radiator. All that section is in the engine section. And there is another section called stereo. Stereo is not in the engine section, right? But in the stereo, you have CD player, you have FM radio. And by so doing, you could see that a car has engine, it has stereo. In the engine section, there is transmission, there is radiator, And in the stereo section, you have CD player and FM radio. So my question to you that I need an answer now is, how many children do you think a car has here? Going by the grace of making a car a parent. Anybody? How many children does a car have here? Hello? Are you people understanding it at all? Hello? Okay, Sin, would you want to answer? Hello?
I just came online, sir. I just came online.
Okay, the Ejoga, okay.
The car has 4 children. He has 4 children.
No, he doesn't. Yes, who wants to help us?
It needed to be an Ipswich at the weekend where they had a difficult time.
Who is?
I would say he has 2 children.
Sir?
Moving position.
I would say he has 2 children.
Exactly, and what are they?
The engine and the stereo.
Exactly. And how many grandchildren, sir?
Let's see. Let's say 4.
Yeah, it's not let's say, it's 4, right?
It's 4 grandchildren.
Transmission, radiator, CD player, and FM radio. These are the grandchildren. So going by the making a car a parent here, it will be a grandparents to the transmission, radiator, CD player, and FM radio, right? So we have sectionized them in these regards. And this is the ordinances in which we write HTML code. If you see, the most parent will take a precedence of indentation, in as much as this will not affect your code if you did not follow it like this, but for readability sake, you just have to do it this way, right? So that the segment will go in that way, in that manner. That is, the sequence will go in that manner. Do you understand this? So let's move on to see. Don't worry, we'll apply it and you will see it koro, not made in Taiwan. Okay, this looks a bit bigger, right? This is a team of rugby, the one they call American football. So, America, they call the normal football here, they call it soccer. And this is the one they call football in their country. So in this team of football, American football, you see a lot of children and a lot of grandchildren and a lot of great-grandchildren, right? So for example, you have defense and you have offense. In the defense, you have defensive back, right? And in the offense, you have wide receiver. In a defensive back, you have cornerback, free safety, and strong safety. In the wide receiver, you have wide receiver. We have wide receiver, like 2 wide receivers, but just different people. One is Dov Baldwin and the other one is Golden Tate. So going by this extension, you would see that this is a bigger case study, a bigger case study than the first one that we use in car. So who was that person that have been helping us again? What's the name of this guy? Onna Emmanuel. Yes, or anybody else. When would you want to contribute? So how many children does a car have here? How many grandchildren? And how many great-grandchildren? Thank you. Who wants to go? Hello.
What I'm seeing here is hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
What I have here is a team defensive. I don't see the car.
No, yes. Now we are done with the car session.
Yes.
Yeah, we're done with the car session.
So the question you asked.
Yes, my question, sir, is the team is the parent. Going by the right of parenting, how many children does a team have here? How many grandchildren does the team has? And how many great-grandchildren does the team has? If you really understand it, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, the team has two children. That's a defense and offense.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yes.
The grandchildren are defensive backs.
Yeah.
And yeah, the wide receivers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then the great-grandchildren are corner back, Richard, no, and then wide receiver, Doug, Baldwin.
So how
That's
many are there?
1, 2, and I'm trying to count.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
7,
Is
8,
it up to-
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
No,
14, 15.
no grandchildren. No, sir. Cornerback, free
No,
safety.
okay. I thought I talked about great-grandchildren.
Yes, great-grandchildren. See, cornerback, free safety, strong safety, right? And
Yes,
wide
yes.
receiver. That is 5.
Yes, actually, yes.
Yeah. You know, because we have wide receiver repeated, probably you'll be a little bit, but if you go by the name, you see Richard, you see Ellen Thomas,
Okay, yeah. When I pick it,
see Baldwin and Golden Tate.
yes.
So these are the grandchildren. So by principle of hierarchy, this is what we have. So it will start making sense to you when we really have the HTML code, which is this. So you're going to see that the HTML is a parent here. In there, you have the head. In the head, you have a title. And instead of HTML, you have a body section. In the body section, you have a H1 and you have a P for paragraph. So this, if you write the HTML in the Sublime and we put this code there and we just say HTML, whatever, let's say demo.html, and we put this code in there and we save it, we right click to the browser to view, you are going to see a perfect move, which is the next thing we're going to be doing, so that you will not feel like, oh, what is this going on? So if you are seeing my screen, you just have to let me know. Now I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to open a Sublime and I'm going to start writing the code there, because seeing is believing, isn't it? All right, permission to stop sharing this. And okay, I'm going to end this one. I'm going to open my new window. Okay, this new window now, I'm going to share it. Sorry. In the Zoom, share, what is share? And new window. By now, you're supposed to see okay, yeah. Can you see this blank dark screen? Can anybody?
Yes, sir, we can. Yes, sir, we can.
All right. So for example, before you start, you go to the file.
Yes, sir.
You go to the file, you say save as, then either on desktop or on a document, just give it a name. I'm going to give this as WBFME, that is World Bank Federal Ministry of Education, demo class, all together. Please mute, who is this person? President, the Presido, Mat. Being it President or UN Secretary General, mute, please. Mute. Thank you. Then the file name .html, because we are dealing with HTML. Oh no. Because I went to mute somebody. Sorry, file, save as, I'm going to call it WBFME, no much stuff, .html. I'm saving it to the document. So I'm going to click save. So now that I just click save, if I start writing code, it will start predicting for me. This is Sublime. We posted a link. I don't know how many people that downloaded it. So if I say HTML, the HTML will pop up, right? Then I'll just press tab or enter to set it for me. Let me increase the font for you to see properly. You can see, right? Very well now. Hello, hello. Can you see?
Yes, sir, we can see it
Can you
very
see?
well.
Yes, we can
see. Yes, sir, we can see it.
All right. I'm going to call this my first web page, right? And then that is, let me separate it very well because I have to explain these guys. So you see this doc type means document type. What is a document type? It's HTML. Then the HTML parent tag, which encompasses, right, the whole website, and the head, where the metadata all go into. The viewport, has to do with the width of the device. You might have heard of responsiveness, the device scale, then author's description, all of that can come in between. The character set, UTF-8, this is the standard of the language. This is the language standard, it's called UTF-8. And author's description, all of that can come in. Author now means you, the programmer. And in the body, whatever comes in here, for example, H1, does anybody know what was in our H1? So I'm just going to say my first web page. I'm going to say, yeah, my first web page is fine. And then if you remember P, which is paragraph, I'm going to say coding is fun and easy, right? And this paragraph must not be one, it can be multiple, right? So I'm going to say here, I'm going to just say, I love coding, and this is the body. If, for example, if you want to put a footer, it can come below this paragraph, but we are not there yet. Rather, what I would want to put here is another H called H2. And what are we supposed to put here? I'm going to call it my second web page, H3, because I need you to know something very quick. My third web page, don't mind the spelling, it is not very correct. Then the fourth one now, H4, you're gonna see my fourth. Just wait a moment, is that how to write fourth? F-O-U-R, is it like this? I think like this, fourth. Okay, I'll do.
No, sir, the first one was correct.
Don't worry, I'll do the Yoruba one. My number 4. I'll do the Yoruba one. My number 4 web page. So that I will not battle with spelling. Then H5, I'll say my number 5. Let me see who will come and hold me ransom for this. is passing the same language and the same message. Then H6, my number 6. Web page, right? And for example, let's say this is where the heading stop, the H thing stop. But if you are very arrogant and you put H7, which there is nothing like that, but let's say I just include it and I call it my number 7, you will see whether there is something like that or nothing like that very soon. Web page. I need you to see this. Then I go back to save. I will save, right click, sorry, save again. Instead of pressing Command S, I'm using Mac, by the way. I would like to save it traditionally. Then go on open in a browser. Then now I will stop sharing. Then I will open what we have in the browser here. So if you can see, please mute. Who is this person? It's echoing. So let me increase it. Can you see it? Hello?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we can.
the lesser the number, the higher the font. The lesser, this is, mind you, this is the first H1, H2. You can see it's getting smaller. H3, 4, 5, 6. And to tell you that there is nothing like H7, the default format of H7 is exactly the same with paragraph. So it will convert it to paragraph. The font size is the same thing with that of a paragraph. So this is paragraph 1 and this is paragraph 2, if you remember. But as far as HTML is concerned, we are done with H1 to H6 and we are done with paragraph. Putting the content in it, that is less for you now. A content depending on what content you want to put. Any question before we move on? Am I too fast, too slow? Or thinking that everybody should know?
Well, this is Emmanuel, not too fast, but those of us who, someone like me, I joined a bit late
Okay.
for the first lesson, so I'm just hoping to grasp this lesson.
All right, sir. Just keep calm, and then by the grace of God, before you know, you'll be called a tech man very soon. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, sir. Thank you. All right, anybody else?
Yeah, your speed is moderate. I think it's okay.
Thank you, sir. The females, women in tech. Anybody wants to say?
Anybody wants to say something? Your
Sir.
teaching is moderate, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. Okay, this is my own first time joining this program too, and it's so very
Akinola
interesting.
David, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. You get it right, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you are
Thanks a lot,
welcome.
sir, for the
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you.
Yes, sir. Actually, I just joined in. I thought the class was slated for 8:30 as the former link you sent. So I never knew it's been rescheduled.
No, sir. There is nothing like a reschedule or here. Like what really happened, we're supposed to come up with a dedicated link, which is one that will be able to hold us for 2 hours. But since we would not got that link yet, we are broadcasting from 3 links. That is, the free version is just 40 minutes. So that is why we created 3 links so that we'll be able to meet up the 2 hours. So bear with us. Very soon we'll come up with a dedicated 1 link that will hold us for 2 hours each time that we yeah. So sorry about that. Even though this one will be ending in 10 minutes, then you join the 3rd link, which it will be, is already there for us for continuity. We don't have to wait forever again. So if this one, as soon as this one is ending, please kindly join the third link.
It's fine. Thank you.
So we can move on. Can we move on? Permission to move on?
Please proceed.
All right, thank you. All right, I will go back to the slides. Where is our slides? Oh, oh no, I have to go back to the slides. Slide, where are you? Sharing that. Slides, okay, yes. So I'm gonna be sharing the slides. Yeah, this one. So if you can see, think we just practicalize this, right? You agree with me that we just practicalize this. What is not here is just the doc type. In there, we saw the title of the H1 to H6 and 2 paragraph, right? So moving on to what they really meant, we say that a HTML encompasses your entire document, right? And the head is where all the metadata goes. Metadata is where you store like the author sessions, right? The programmer is the author here. Your name, if it is a company that is developing that website, about your company, you hide some things there so that nobody will just go there and think that I can clone your codes and use it. There are something we call IAS. You have to write the IAS there and hide it there. So even if you view page source and you copy my code, there are some hidden things that will be jetting a SQL code to track you to say, look, this is not your code. You know, I'll be imputing some stuff there in that session. All of these go to the head session. And in the body is where all the content goes to. Whatever you want it to be displayed on the site, this goes into the body session. And the footer also go into the body session, but there will be a lot of padding, you know, and margin that will just, you know, make it a footer. That is another session too, right? And now H1, H2, H3, all the way to H6, H is just the header, you know, like the title H1 is the most important and the most used in this web development. And P donate, of course, the paragraph. And there is another new one called div, which is a division or a container of content. And what that does is, for example, you have a desk in your office, right? There is a section where you put your computer. There is another section you put your pen. There is another section for coffee in a big office. You know, you divide your table, your desk, and you put some for just a notebook and your mobile phones, and even your wallet, and for women, purse, and all of that stuff. So because you have a very big desk, doesn't mean that you should use them anyhow. You're going to sectionize them, right? The same way we use this div to divide our page, because in a website, it comes in a page by page, right? So we use it to group object together. Object that has equal IDs or equal class, you're going to be knowing what IDs and classes looks like, right? So you group them together. For example, fruit in a basket, right? And you put one group of fruits in a basket and you put the others. Let's say you have so many oranges. You put them in one section, in one group, and you have avocado, and you have plum, and you have mangoes, you have pineapple. You group all of them like that, and you put them section by section. And maybe that same basket, you want to share it with 2 bars of yam. So use this div to group them. Maybe a group of images, a section of images that you want to group. right? Same like that. Okay, there is another one we call UL. Is a tag content called UL, a HTML tag on ordered list. So bullet points, it handles bullet points. And there is another one, OL, is ordered list. It handles numbers, right? And in this UL and OL, there's something we call LI, which is a list of elements. For example, you want to use a UL for order of cars, and you have to use element to list the type of cars, maybe Benz, Audi, Volkswagen, whatever car, Chevrolet, or even Ford. You pull them, group them like that in it. So you use this LI to list them. But what will determine whether it should be a bullet point or number is the preference of UL. UL means it will give you all bullet points in the list item. And OL means it will all give you number, which will be applying it very soon. Momentarily, we'll be applying them, right? So it's individual bullet points or number. Okay, so for example, like this. So if we go back to our dark code and add this thing, then you will see them. So you say, you first of all give a header, a H1, my favorite social media sites. What are they? So, and is a OL. In this OL now, you queue the LI in there. So for example, I want to stop sharing, and then I want to share this, our code again, and we queue this thing that we just learned in here, right? Can you see? I want to minimize a little bit, and for us to see very well. Okay, so for example, want to go down here. We say H1, right? In this H1, want to see my favorite favor. Don't know if it is the right thing. Cars. Then here, you want to put let's use OL, right? In this OL, want to do LI. So I'm gonna go with Benz straight, right? I'm gonna go with oh, sorry. Another LI. I'm gonna go with let's say Ford, one of two. You know, depending, another LI, Toyota. So another LI, let's say Aston Martins. Okay, let's just stop here. An old man will say, I will go with Bentley instead of Martins. Okay, maybe some young guy will say, let's go with Lambo, right? Or Bugatti. But let's just stop here and see this. We're going to save. And we are going to stop sharing. And we're going to view in browser. Now,